15 weeks of the high school football season in the state of Florida leads to this. Camping World Stadium, Orlando, state championships for all the marbles. Glory, jubilation, disappointment, and just sheer guts. It's all that and more. The state championship edition of Hotbed World. Next. Hello and welcome to the footballhotbed.com Florida High School Football Report, driven by Honda. I'm Brandon O'Doy, and this is Orlando, Florida, Camping World Stadium, the state championship for the greatest football state in the entire world, Florida. We are thankful for all of the things that we've seen and heard throughout the course of this season. It has been amazing, but it all leads to this: 8 classifications of games from 1A to 8A that absolutely prove who is number one. And there is no debate. If you get to this point, you've gone through 4 rounds or 3 in the lower classes of absolute tough football, intense action, and you get here by earning every single down and every single play. So we'll find out who is the best of the best. But let's start off first with Eye on South Florida, brought to you by your South Florida Honda dealers. State championship coverage now, starting with Kings Academy and Chaminade Madonna. Kings Academy shocking, going up early 10-0. Justin Wakes to Corey Courteau, but then Chaminade restores order. Willie Davis with one of his 2 touchdowns on the day. He had over 80 yards on the ground on 17 carries. The transfer from Miami Central got the job done, and Dalen Menard, the senior quarterback, hits Elijah Cannon. He races off to a 71-yard score. I now pronounce you very fast. Chaminade Madonna, after being down 10-0 in this game, scores 38 consecutive points. That touchdown reception by John Dunmore, the Penn State commit, is one of those, and then the other is Dedrick Stanley's punt return for a touchdown. One of the most electric DBs that can also run it. U for the score. Chaminade all over Kings Academy, 38-10. 2A state final now, North Florida Christian. There's TJ Ward grabbing the pick 6 from Chaminade, racing 35 yards for the touchdown on the first play of the game. And then Christopher Vidal of Chaminade gets the defending 2A champs on the board. But this would be the J.D. Jerry show. He gets in on the direct snap there from 6 yards out. And then errors in the kicking game for Chaminade prove very costly as DeAndre McCray recovers the touchdown for North Florida Christian. They would have to answer, though. Chaminade, Justin Payout gets in for the touchdown on the reverse, but then J.D. Jerry again takes another direct snap for 6. He ran for 78 yards and 2 touches. They win 28-20.
We ain't no rookies. Already, baby.
Make sure you get that.
And we deserve this, bro. That is hard work and dedication, man.
And still ahead on the footballhotbed.com Florida High School Football Report, State Championship Edition. It's game of the week here. It's Mandarin taking on Columbus. Plus, we'll have top plays, including the #1 play of the week. Turn on the tape, all that and more. But first, it's Eye on Central Florida when we return on the footballhotbed.com Florida High School Football Report, driven by Honda. Welcome back to Orlando, Florida, and Camping World Stadium, the footballhotbed.com Florida High School Football Report. We couldn't be more excited to bring you state championship action. Game of the week is the 8A classification between Mandarin and Columbus. These are 2 teams that come from as far as you could possibly be in Northwest Jacksonville and all the way south in Miami, Florida. This is a wonderful matchup, and we can't wait to get you the highlights. But first, let's take a look at Eye on Central Florida. You have a North Marion team that upset Trinity Christian to get here to the 5A state championship. And then you have an upstart Cardinal Gibbons program that's finally looking to punch their ticket to a state championship. It's their first ever. Can they get the job done? We'll find that out. Also, Cocoa taking on Reigns, the rematch. These are the highlights. Eye on Central Florida is next, brought to you by Orlando Health. Let's go to the tape. Let's go to the 5A state championship. North Marion taking on Cardinal Gibbons from Fort Lauderdale. North Marion's Quentin Gross gets in for his only touchdown of the game. Then Coleman Bennett got things going for Cardinal Gibbons. The coach's son would get it going there. And then Brody Palhigi hits Jake Harrington, and he has the skill to get in for a touchdown. Harrington, 52 yards on the score. Brody Palhigi, the backup quarterback, leading his team, and also led by Vincent Davis, 133 rushing yards on the day. Davis gets in for the score, and Cardinal Gibbons behind that young man who comes in, starts his first game in the state playoffs, diving in for the score. They beat North Marion 48-10. Reigns taking on Cocoa, and Reigns getting the job done, defending their state championship. Jamon Handy scores there on the ground, and this is a nice play from DJ Arroyo, flipping it to Keziah Holmes for Cocoa, trying to stay in this game. But in the end, Barron Coates would come off the bench for only his second appearance at quarterback after he started all year long, was replaced in the playoffs, hits Brandon Marshall for a back-breaking 74-yard touchdown, and Reigns would defend their state championship against Cocoa. A late push was intercepted by Reigns, and they win by the score 27-13 over Cocoa. Reigns going back-to-back for Duval County, and they had great support from alumni. Let's hear from Brian Dawkins. You talked about it, the pride of Duval County, Jacksonville, this school. Help us to understand what this really means to this community.
See, you don't understand the significance of this, because it's not just, this is to be able to focus young men that some of us come from some tough backgrounds and some tough things, and to be able to focus these young men into something positive. This is what happens when that happens. So that energy that may be used in other ways are being focused out in this field. And for these young men to come out of Jacksonville, Duval County, and win back-to-back state championships, like, the significance of that can't be overstated, bro. Seriously, from the north side, Duval, Jacksonville, back-to-back states. Come on, celebrate this team, Duval. Celebrate them, because I am.
And what a remarkable win, state championship win, their first ever in Cardinal Gibbons history. But the way they got there was an unusual path. You come into a season, you have a senior quarterback like Nick Scalzo, he's committed to Kentucky. You think, hey, we have a senior-laden team led by a senior quarterback. We're going to get to the state championship. It's going to be easy. But yet, you've got to go through your rival, beat your rival twice, and guess what? The second time around, you've got to do it with your backup quarterback who's never started a game. Let's go in focus to this Cardinal Gibbons program and find out just how they put this special senior together. We go to Marcus Benjamin, our senior writer, as we go in focus.
With their season on the line in the regional semifinal, Cardinal Gibbons lost their 3-year starting quarterback to an ACL injury. From that point forward, Brody Palhigi was inserted into the starting lineup with the weight of the program on his shoulders.
I think I have full trust in him. I mean, this whole year I grew him. That's what my job was, I believe, as a senior and a sophomore. And it's his turn to take over and give him all the reins, and I wanted to see him succeed.
Brody did more than just succeed. Brody's first 2 starts in varsity ball were probably the most important starts in his school's history. Gibbons made it to the first state semifinal for the first time since 1990.
You never know when your moment will come. When my moment came, I took it and ran away with it, man. I did the best I could do, and it's crazy how it finished.
The season finished with a 5A state championship, the first in their school's history. In the title game against North Marion, Brody passed for a touchdown and rushed for a touchdown, but credits his team for his success.
As soon as Nick went down, everyone had my back from the start, and we knew we were going to do it.
The 5A state champion Cardinal Gibbons Chiefs have a new quarterback for the future, and his name is Brody.
Still ahead on the footballhotbed.com Florida High School Football Report. Game of the week. This exciting game between Mandarin and Christopher Columbus. We can't wait to bring you the highlights. But first, we've got Turn on the Tape, top plays, and don't forget, Eye on Tampa Bay, brought to you by your local Honda dealer, is next when we return. Welcome back to the footballhotbed.com Florida High School Football Report, driven by Honda. We're here at the state championship, 8 classifications of wonderful football in the great state of Florida. The game of the week is Mandarin and Christopher Columbus. We can't wait to get you the highlights. But now it's time to look at Eye on Tampa Bay. You got awesome matchups in Tampa Bay. They've had great seasons. This is Armwood the Hawks and Lakeland the Dreadnoughts. They take on St. Thomas Aquinas and Miami Northwestern, respectively, of South Florida. Who will get the best of each other? We can't do anything but go to the tape to find out. Eye on Tampa Bay is next. Let's go to the tape. 6A state final now, a repeat of last year. Sefner Armwood in the blue taking on Miami Northwestern. Cameron Ransom, the quarterback, throwing the ball up. Hail Mary prayer didn't go well. Timothy Burns, the defensive back, gets in for the score and the pick six. Northwestern will begin to roll. Nathan Noel tips the ball to himself. The Isaiah Velez pass gets into the end zone for the score for Miami Northwestern. And this is a Northwestern team that was paced by their defense during the playoff run. 5 losses during the season. A fumble there caused by Terrence Lewis Jr. and Sam Brooks Jr., the Miami commit, picks it up and scores. And this Northwestern team was dominant, 22-0 in the win. They are state champions again. That blur on your screen is Lakeland's DeMarcus Bowman. I now pronounce you very fast. He's fast and he's married to the game. Ain't no divorce, and Bowman in for the 80-yard touchdown run. St. Thomas Aquinas in the 7A final trying to win their state championship. Their 11th title. Kirk is still doing what he can do. Number 12 getting it done there with a gutsy run. But this one was all Lakeland. Finley Graham receives the kick. He goes all the way back 99 yards for a dagger kickoff return, and St. Thomas Aquinas was in big trouble. They would answer with their star running back. His name is Daniel Carter. He's committed to Pitt. He'll be there next year, but they just didn't have enough as the Dreadnoughts from Lakeland were fast, physical, and tough. They win the 7A final 33-20.
All gas, no brakes, man. They doubted us. We here now. Full nation, baby. Y'all gonna watch the show. Man, we been wanting to play since 2 a.m. We ain't even go to sleep.
Let's go into the house.
Madison County trying to go back-to-back, taking on Baker, and this one was all Travis J. 68 yards on the QB keeper to open up the scoring account for the Cowboys. First touchdown, Baker's Junior McLaughlin runs one in for the Gators. 15 yards for their only score of the game, and then Vincenta Allen, he's gonna break off a 55-yard run. He slips past the Gator defense going downfield, expanding the Cowboys' lead. And then in the second half, it's Allen again for Madison County. Madison County just way too much for Baker. 61 yards on the touchdown, and the FSU commit, Travis J, he's gonna take the option to read, scoring once again for Madison County. The Cowboys win the 1A state title 48-6 over Baker. throughout the playoffs, we've broken down the running back position, one of the most important positions on the football field. But there is one position that reigns supreme. It's the quarterback position. So we asked our head coach at Football Hotbed, Drew Phillips of the Phillips QB Academy, to break out one of the nation's best, Carson Beck of Mandarin. Let's go to the tape.
How's everybody doing? This is Drew Phillips of the Phillips Quarterback Academy, reporting for Football Hotbed and the Florida High School Football Report. In today's segment, we're going to be evaluating 2020 Mandarin High School quarterback and Alabama commit Carson Beck. On this first play, Carson does a great job with his pre-snap read. He sees he's got man-to-man coverage across the board with one high safety. They have a RPO called, or a run-pass option. His read on this play is the outside linebacker to the top of the screen. Once he sees this outside linebacker is committed to the run, he pulls the ball and throws an easy touchdown down the field. On this next play, Carson does a great job of selling run. The entire defense bites. Once he sees that his guys have gone behind the secondary, he throws a 45-yard dot. This play really shows you the kind of arm strength that Carson Beck has. Play 3 is very similar to play 1. You have man-to-man coverage on the outsides, you have another RPO called, and the RPO read commits to the run again. However, you can see that this play is a busted play as the receiver runs the wrong route. What Carson does great here is instead of losing his cool, he takes nothing and turns it into something and gets Mandarin a rushing touchdown. This has been Drew Phillips of the Phillips QB Academy, reporting for Football Hotbed and the Florida High School Football Report. It's a hotbed world.
And still ahead on the footballhotbed.com, Florida High School Football Report, driven by Honda. We can't wait to get to Game of the Week. What an exciting way to finish up our state championship coverage this year. Plus, we've got Turn on the Tape, the young man that college coaches need to be recruiting, and also top plays, including the #1 play, the jackpot play of the week. All that and more when we return on the footballhotbed.com, Florida High School Football Report, driven by Honda. Welcome back to the footballhotbed.com Florida High School Football Report, driven by Honda. It's finally time for Game of the Week. The excitement has built all season long, and this is 8A, the highest classification of football. Mandarin in Jacksonville and Miami Christopher Columbus, they couldn't be separated by more distance. The very top of the state and the very bottom. And these two teams collide in a wonderful, wonderful matchup. Mandarin is led by Carson Beck, the junior 6'4" quarterback who's committed to Alabama. He's absolutely excellent. And head coach Ramsey, he knows that he will have to use him and the bevy of athletes that he has at his disposal in order to knock off Columbus. Columbus has been here before. They won a state championship just a few short years ago, and Coach Chris Merritt knows that he's got to ride the horse, his running back, Henry Parrish Jr., in order to get a state championship. What will happen? We can't wait to find out. Game of the Week on this state championship edition of the footballhotbed.com Florida High School Football Report is next. Let's go to the tape. 8A state final, Mandarin taking on Christopher Columbus from Dade County. Faithful from Jacksonville, all ready to go, ready to eat.
We go out and we are machine sharp, razor focused. That's why we do what we do.
Here comes Mandarin representing Duval County, Jacksonville 904, taking on the boys from the 305, playing for their fallen teammate who died in a car crash earlier this year. Christopher Columbus focus coming into this one, and they would waste no time. Brandon McDuffie passes to Xavier Henderson. Henderson beats the Mustang defenders in a foot race, gets into the end zone, putting Columbus up 7-0 in the contest early on. Mandarin's Carson Beck would then connect with Demario Douglas, who breaks it outside and he scores. The Explorers were having to deal with this young man who scored 4 times on the night, and this Mandarin faithful, they absolutely loved it. It was his birthday. He had a wonderful performance. The Explorers defense gets after Beck, takes him down, but Beck comes right back on the next possession, finding Chris Mitchell for a second passing touchdown of the game. Carson Beck committed to Alabama. This young man is absolutely electric in the passing game, but Columbus would get going behind the excellent running of Henry Parrish Jr., who gets out and brings the ball across midfield for the Explorers. And McDuffie and Columbus are marching until an ill-timed INT by Darian Oxidine. Columbus very disappointed with the outcome there as they were trying to make something happen, and Octagon picks it off. Now he sports the turnover chain. Mandarin would add to their lead with a Hudson Levine kick. They would go up 17-7 on Columbus, putting the Explorers in a bit of a quandary. The Explorers, Daryl Moss answers for their team with a long kickoff return inside the Mandarin 30-yard line that sets up a pass from McDuffie to Kalani Norris, who walks into the end zone. Norris wears the letter A for fallen teammate Ari Arteaga. They played inspired football, but Mandarin comes back to Douglas. The connection was too great, 24-14 at the half.
Let's go, man. Second half, 0-0. Let's go.
Can't take our foot off the gas. You know, that's a heck of a team over there with a lot of really talented athletes. It's well coached and came here to win a state championship. So it's going to be a battle and a dogfight in the second half. We've got to limit their big plays on offense. You know, I think we got to do a better job there, and we have to do a better job in the coverage game.
All right, second half action now, and Columbus trying to make something happen. The quarterback, Brandon McDuffie, goes out. He was injured on the play. The backup quarterback throws a pick to Mario Douglas. Who else? Two-way star getting it done. And there's some special team issues for Mandarin. That would lead to a touchdown by Columbus. McDuffie comes back in, and him and Xavier Henderson hook up again. And Columbus is marching back in within 3, but then Carson Beck and DeMario Douglas say, hey, listen, we've got not our 3rd touchdown that takes it to 30-21, but we're going to add our 4th as well. Beck, the Alabama commit, hooking up with Douglas again. This young man is turn on the tape. He's a guy that absolutely has to be highly recruited. He went nuts, and it was his birthday. The fans go wild. Columbus trying to get back into this one. McDuffie hits Kalani Norris for the touchdown, bringing them back closer in this game. Norris, a lot of motion there. And then the very talented Henry Parrish Jr., the running back, getting in for the score. Columbus trying to make some noise and make things happen. They go back. Beck is hit. The ball is out. They almost lose it. But on the next possession, they trade turnovers because McDuffie throws the pick to Mandarin. It's picked off there. And then watch here as Mandarin tries to continue to ice this thing away. And the ball is stripped. Columbus picks it up. And then McDuffie, he's going to throw the pass of his life, hitting Henderson in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown that brings it within 2. If they get this 2-point conversion, they can take this game to overtime. The flip out by McDuffie to Henry Parrish. No, denied. Mandarin will hang on. Carson Beck is going to down this one, and the Mustangs win the first state title in school history.
Ladies and gentlemen, your final, Mandarin Mustangs 37, Columbus Explorers 35.
Hey man, all those games prepared us. We had the toughest schedule in 8A, man. All those games prepared us for this moment right here. We came out and showed what we was capable of. We was doubted from day one. We just want to thank God and our coaches. They guided us here, man. They got us here. It's a blessing to be here.
It's, you know, it's unbelievable. I mean, you know, you just work to try to win every week. And, you know, to get to this point, I mean, the guys just kept doing the right things. And it's unbelievable. I mean, really and truly, it's unbelievable. I'm so happy to see these guys like this. It's awesome.
Adversity, close losses, overtime. You know, you lose your linebacker, your quarterback doesn't play a game, even though he's probably one of the best in the state, if not the country. How do you get here?
You know, you consistent, you know, high demands of the kids. You know, everybody you expect to play at a high level when they're on the field. You know, develop players, always have that be your focus in the offseason, and then put them in position to be successful no matter who's out there. Those guys have got to get out there and do it.
Talk about your coach, Coach Ramsey, bringing tradition where there was none, you transferring in. You know, how does it all mix together?
He's such a great leader, and he leads this team. He leads his players. He leads his other coaches, and I mean, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that he brought us here.
Congratulations, you're a state champ.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, this is a segment where we give a young man an opportunity to turn on the tape. So you had a wonderful night, 4 touchdowns. It was a state record. DeMario Douglas, it's time to turn on the tape. Tell the college coaches right there, look into that camera, and tell the college coaches you want to recruit you, who needs to turn on your tape from tonight.
I have Liberty offer, but I really want Liberty. I really want Liberty. I go to visit there this weekend. So if it's good, that's where I'll be.
All right, Coach Hugh Freeze, you just got the job at Liberty. You better turn on the tape.
Yes, sir.
This week's turn on the tape, Mandarin High School, DeMario Douglas. Douglas is an athlete that plays both sides of the ball for Jacksonville Mandarin and does it at a high level. He's got the speed, hands that make him a threat anywhere on the field offensively, and he's got skills that also transfer to the other side of the ball that make him a great cover man. 5'8", 165 pounds, #1 on the field, and #1 getting it done.
All right, it's the state championship edition of Top Plays. This is the most exciting top plays of the entire season. Who made the biggest plays in the biggest moment on the biggest stage? Top Plays State Championship Edition, including the #1 play, Jackpot Play of the Year. Who will it be? Let's go to the tape to find out.
State championship top plays, Miami Christopher Columbus. Check out Xavier Henderson. Columbus with a nice grab there. #4, Travis J in Madison County. This young man is incredible. Had the nice long touchdown run there. Watch him look back at his competition. #3, Nathan Noel catches the pass from Isaiah Velez, and he tips it to himself, gets in for the only offensive touchdown of the game for Miami Northwestern. They win big, state champs. And #2, TJ Ward, give me that, leads North Florida Christian to their state championship victory. And #1, Barrett Coates, coming off the bench, didn't play quarterback until the 4th quarter, hitting Brandon Marshall, his running back, and he's off to the races. #1 play of the year, state championship edition. Bright Futures, thank you for what you do.
And that's going to do it for this final edition, state championship edition of the FootballHotbed.com Florida High School Football Report. What a game of the week. The 8A state champion, the Mandarin Mustangs, get the job done by only 2 points, but it doesn't matter. They walk away as champs of the highest classification in all of Florida. For all of us at FootballHotbed.com, it has been a wonderful year chronicling the very best football in America in the great state of Florida. Thanks to our sponsors, our South Florida Honda dealers, Honda, your local Honda dealer of Tampa, and also Orlando Health, and all of those at Fox Sports. From FootballHotbed.com, it's a hotbed world, and we hope you have a happy new year.